This week on the Unpopular Opinion Show. Like, how many stories on this show start with?
I went to the bar.
I went to the bar.
That's what happened when you got family over and you trying to tell them to shut up. You doing something.
Respectfully, can you shut the fuck up? What is this, magic potion for hookers?
Not to say that people have loose vaginas, but some women do. It's just like sex. You may have 3 or 4 partners. Who knows? Whatever. That's your business.
Are these products for porn stars and very active hookers?
There's a sausage joke there that I'm just not gonna do.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Who gives a fuck? Okay, personally, kick Candace Owens and her stanky
cray-cray.
No good thing starts with, I was thinking about my ex.
He ain't learned his lesson. That's a brother ain't gonna learn shit.
I know this is gonna be unpopular and I don't care.
Let's keep this shit funky.
Yes, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Unpopular Opinions Show. I go by the name of T-Storm. And as always, my partner in crime, DJ Mike Swift, is here as well. What's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. How you been, bro?
I'm excellent. Can't complain. And if I did, who would listen? So, okay, so on the show today, we're going to be having a guest, sister by the name of Latanya Morris. She has this, she runs a website for interesting feminine products. You may ask, why are we talking about feminine products? Because the shit was funny to me. And there was a video that I saw on Instagram. Tahiri, remember Tahiri that used to be attached to Joe Budden, I believe, had posted something. That video is now gone, of course. I should have downloaded it. But it was funny as hell to me. It was something, listen, I thought of it like magic potion of some sort. But we'll talk more about that when she gets on here, and she should be joining us shortly. As well as whatever else that happened last week. How was your week, Mike?
My week was good, man. It was a busy first time back in the office since COVID. So it was a little hectic getting used to or going from a 30-second commute to a 30-minute commute was weird. But yesterday I was able to get out and do some work. I just had a shed built, so I had to go out and stain or whatever. And I said, I owe myself a treat from being productive. So I went to the bar. Like, how many stories on this show start with?
I went to the bar.
I went to the bar.
Right.
So, I'm sitting at the bar, and it's a couple of brothers to my right, and they were talking, and I wasn't getting into their conversation. You know, they're doing their thing or whatever. Somehow I got pulled into the conversation.
Okay.
Right. And now we're 3 dudes. I'm 47. The other guy, 48, and another guy was 31. We got. Is that her coming in?
It looks like it. I'm gonna go ahead and let in.
All right, we'll put a pin in the story.
Put a pin in the story.
Right.
Nice tease. Nice way to tease. And we'll come back to that.
Right?
But I believe we're being joined by Latanya Morris. There she is.
Hey.
Hello, my sister.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Wonderful.
Okay.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you pretty good. I mean, there's a television on in the background, but I can, it's so.
No, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. That's what happened when you got family over and you trying to tell them to shut up. You doing something.
Right.
Uncle Kenny.
Uncle Kenny.
Please, I'm doing something, y'all.
Uncle Kenny, can you turn that shit down for us, please, there, sir? Thank you. Love you.
What you say that?
Uncle Kenny, could you quiet down? I'm trying to handle some business, Uncle Kenny. Could you respectfully, could you shut the fuck up? That's what you want to say. Uncle Kenny, respectfully, can you shut the fuck up?
Please. Low key, yes.
Right. But Latanya, thank you for joining us. I'm T Storm, my partner, Mike Swift.
How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm all right. How are you guys?
We're good. I'm on the East. We're both on the East Coast. I'm in Jersey. Mike is in Atlanta. Where are you based?
Chicago. Hey, Chi-Town.
I thought you might. Okay, I thought this might make you feel feel comfortable.
Yes, 107.5. Keep it popping. I love it. WGCI.
One time was my sister Frankie and my homie Leon Rogers over there and Kyle Santillian over there. I worked with them for some years. I was in Chicago actually for a little while.
Good. They're good people. I love them. Listen all the time.
Yeah. I loved Chicago, but y'all crazy. I had to go.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
And I lived in Evanston. You know. They made it a very distinct difference when I would say I lived in Chicago and people were like, no, this ain't Chicago. This is Evanston. Don't get it twisted.
No, yeah, Evanston that should be its own little entity. You're not from Chicago if you're from Evanston.
Oh,
you
damn.
Say I'm from Evanston.
Evanston. Okay, so I got to claim
people
Evanston.
Know you're different.
They say they know the difference?
They know you're different if you're from Evanston. Absolutely.
Okay. What part of the Chi are you from?
From the South Side. Actually, okay, I'm from the South Burbs, but no one knows my suburb. It's the same way as Evanston, so I just say Chi-Town.
Got you.
Right?
Got you.
Fair enough.
Born and raised, though. Chicago born and raised, but just like you had to dip out a little bit. Just had to
I
get a little bit away from the city.
Okay. So just give a little backstory. I was explaining this before you joined on. We don't normally talk about feminine products on this show, but I saw something that caught my attention that it was funny to me. Now, call me immature, I might be, but the shit was hilarious to me. There was something that I believe Tahiri had posted up a video about what's called V Honey.
V Honey tightening gel.
Tightening gel. Now, could you? Oh, my Lord. Okay. I'm not even going to pretend that I understand this concept. I looked because when it was explained, it was like, it's a tightening gel and it does this and it lubricates and it does this and it takes away smells from your pleasure box. And I'm like, what is this magic potion for hookers? Please explain to me.
Oh boy!
What the hell is V Honey? And he had a whole bunch of stuff on it. Yeah.
You went out a little bit. You say what?
No, I'll say, please explain to me what this is about, and why.
Absolutely. I mean, a couple of different things. Like I said, I'm gonna start by saying this is 100% all natural. Everything I do is herbal, so this is plant-based. So I call it a plant-based, lady part, right?
Hot pocket gel.
What you pocketbook, flower power, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, got you.
Right?
I'm quite fond of flower power. I like that.
Flower power.
Oh, baby, I call it the treasure box, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
So what this gel does is I call it V Honey. People say, does it taste good? No, that's just what I named it. It kind of looks like honey to me. When it comes out, it looks like honey, so I've named it V Honey.
Okay.
And it is a tightening gel. Not to say that people have loose vaginas, but some women do. There's something called vaginal rejuvenation surgery, where they will actually go to get it tightened. That procedure is not cheap at all.
That's a thing.
And so...
that's a thing?
I'm sorry?
That's
a thing, yeah. Women who have had babies, women who have a very lax pelvic floor, where things, the vagina is a muscle. That's the whole thing. It's a muscle. And just like any muscle, it can stretch out and become very laxed, for lack of better words.
Okay.
So this tightening gel activates the smooth cells of the muscles of the walls of the vagina, and it kind of brings it back in, nice and snug and tight. So that is the main gist of the tightening gel. You do not have to be loose to use it, though. Okay.
Although
if you just want it,
loose women may want this more than most.
They may want it more. They may. You mentioned hookers. You don't have to be a hooker. You may just like sex. You may have 3 or 4 partners. Who knows? Whatever. That's your business. You might have 2 boyfriends. You want to tighten up before the next round.
Hey, I appreciate you keeping it absolutely 100. I do.
But, the good thing about this gel, though, is like I said, it doesn't just tighten. It also moisturizes. Women have problems with vaginal dryness. So it acts as a very good lubricant. You don't have to go get your KY jellies and all of that. This actually acts as a lubricant as well. Okay. And vaginal dryness is a thing for me because if you're dry doing sex, it's not you to me. It's your partner. Like they're not doing something,
Wait a minute.
If you
hold on. You can't put that on there on our partner.
Not 100. Okay, not 100% wholeheartedly. It could be, her mind somewhere else if she's just not into it. But if your partner is not performing foreplay, like for women, everyone knows, you may not know, but we need more foreplay than most men, right? Men can see a woman and automatically they're ready. Women don't operate, our bodies don't operate like that. And so a lot of times men are just ready to pounce and you gotta do some foreplay first so that you can get some lubrication. So that's what I mean by it.
Okay. So I want to assert this real quick. Are you, so this is like medical stuff. Are you in the medical field? Are you a doctor? I
am in the medical field. I am a physician assistant. I'm not sure how familiar you are with physician assistants or PAs.
Mm-hmm. I'm not.
Anybody ever heard of a PA?
No.
Yes,
heard of it?
I have.
You have. I'm always impressed when people have heard of it and know what I do because it's a fairly new field.
Is that the person?
I dated a surgeon for 2.5 years. It was the worst goddamn 2.5 years of my life. But and she worked a lot in the gyno field. So I learned far more about women parts than I ever wanted to know. So yes, I've heard of PA, and it's a lot of what you're talking about I'm familiar with.
That's awesome. So that's awesome. So it's kind of like I tell people kind of in between like a nurse practitioner because most people have heard of nurse practitioner. Everyone knows what a doctor does. I'm kind of squeezed smack dab in the middle. So I went to medical school and I learned what the doctors know. But I don't, so I practice like a doctor, but not licensed as an MD, right? I do everything they do. I can do surgery, I do procedures, I prescribe medicine, I see my own patients, but I am not an MD.
Gotcha. So you have that background, you have that information. You obviously saw a need, right? You are a woman. How did you come up with this? Like, how did you research the natural ingredients to figure out what's going to do what and that it's not going to be harmful?
Right. So I actually, like you said, with the background that I have, I work in emergency medicine. So by the time women come to me, it's an urgent situation, pretty much. And, it's not just women, it's men, but I work in emergency medicine and we get a lot of vaginal complaints and issues. So many that we're thinking about doing a separate STD clinic so that we can weed out what's acute and what's not. So that's where the original idea came from because they need something that they can do at home, as opposed to running into the doctor all the time. So I put together a complete kit, a complete vaginal kit. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
That's everything. So these
Absolutely.
These are pills, right?
Okay.
All natural, 100% herbal pills.
Okay.
These are vaginal inserts. They go inside the vagina. And they cure yeast and bacterial infections in the vagina. I also, of course, did a vaginal wash. You got to have the wash. You got to have the cleanser, right? And then the V-Honey gel, I sell in 5s in a pack like this. So how I came up with it is just recognizing the need. And I started working with some suppliers and manufacturing companies. They allowed me to pick my ingredients. So I did some research on the ingredients and what does what. And we just kind of put it together.
So basically you put this recipe together for these products.
So they allowed me to choose what I wanted. So it was kind of like a smorgasbord of all natural ingredients. And it's like, what do you want to put in here? This ingredient does this ingredient does that, this ingredient does this. What do you want?
Okay. Okay. Cat juices. I got you. Okay. So what do you say to women that go, hey, how can I trust to put these products in my body? You know what I mean? Like, I'm married. My wife has said, there are not many things that's supposed to go, that's supposed to go down in the box. You know what I mean? You don't put against petroleum jelly and, baby oil and whatever else that we've used as lubricant back in the days. But you're not supposed to use all that stuff on the woman. So these products, how do you justify it, or how do you how safe is it?
Reassure. How do you reassure women?
Thank you.
Right. So my products, again, I stress the fact that they are 100% all natural. I put the ingredients on the website. They're on the label so that if you want to do the research behind the ingredients, you can. And I am available for all questionings. You can email me, you can inbox me in my DM, whatever form that you have. I'm available, and I literally answer questions all through the night. So I am the face of my product. So I gain a rapport with my customers because we talk. They tell me their issues, and I give them a recommendation. And whatever questions they have, I answer. The thing about natural medications is I prescribe medicine all day long.
Okay.
And when I'm giving prescriptions to patients, they don't question what's in it. And with even something as simple as Tylenol, if you take too much, it can kill you. But as soon as you say, I got something herbal, I got something natural, they're like, well, what's in it?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I saw, right? There's something on your Instagram that says my kitty cat is vegan or something like that. What? My vagina is vegan. I thought that was hilarious. This is all, call me immature. This shit is funny. So
there's a sausage joke there that I'm just not gonna do.
We do remember at one point in time there was a challenge with a cucumber or an eggplant or something like that on all over the web about a year and some change ago or less. Women were.
I missed this.
Yeah, they were deep throating cucumbers.
I missed that challenge too. I do believe I remember that.
That was a thing.
Though, but
that was a thing. They were deep throating cucumbers. Hey, listen, if that's what you want to do in your spare time, hey, have at it. But practice makes perfect. So this is not a magic potion for women to trick dudes. This is not what that is it?
I'm sorry, you said magic potion for what? Women to trick dudes?
Yeah, this is to make it tight. And, all of a sudden you get into a real relationship and, hey, wait a minute, this ain't the same box.
Well,
how long does that last? How long does that tightening actually last?
It varies per woman. It's user dependent. So it depends on how lax you are.
How lax you are. How many, how
body count matters.
Yes.
Depends on how lax you are. So some women buy the box once a month. Every 30 days, they re-up on their supply.
I know guys that buy the box more than that. Sorry. Okay.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. It was right there. I told you I'm not mature. This is funny to me, so I'm going to keep saying silly things. Please forgive me. Continue.
I do have a question. I have a not a joke, legitimate question, because when you said some women are more laxed and they re-up every 30 days. So from your talking to your customer base, do you find that is it largely women who just want to care and maintain for their body parts, or are there a large number of women who are not very selective with partners, and they're trying to maintain that situation from what one might say is arguably bad choices?
In layman's terms,
Right.
are these products for porn stars and very active hookers? Is that where you were going with it?
Yes, but a lot nicer than that, but sure.
No, actually, it also enhances sexual pleasure and orgasms for both parties. It makes the vulva area more sensitive, so it increases sensation. So both partners actually enjoy it. If you read the reviews, I cannot make this up. Not only are you wetter, it just feels better. So I get a lot of, so it's not just for people who are loose. Again, I don't want people to think that I gotta have a loose vagina to get this product. You know, if you want to do something different in the bedroom, you want to increase sexual pleasure and orgasms. Some women have never even had an orgasm. You want to increase your ability to do that.
Right.
You know, the bee honey's for.
And it's also for women that's had children that's torn their giant vagina out of shape in spaces, and it's just kind of weird down there. Again, I have kids. Sorry.
Yeah, so do I, and I've seen that happen, and it took a long time for me to come back from that.
The visuals, like, you can't unsee that shit.
We've talked a lot about the product, and one of the things that I like when we have guests on the show, I like for people to see your journey. Right? Because I don't think it's enough for people to see the end result, you know, a successful PA, a woman starting her own business and doing it. What did you go through to get there? How did you start? What were some of your challenges? Can you just tell us a little bit about your journey so people can see and maybe see something in your life that they can take and incorporate in their own to advance themselves further?
Absolutely. To be honest with you, I launched August 1st. So I haven't really been in business very long. But with that being said, the followers are increasing. It's increasing as far as the amount of support and people that want or need the product. So the reason why I started, or from the beginning, it came about because with COVID-19 occurring, I actually had to go on unemployment. Even though I work in the urgent care setting, more people were not coming to the doctor. They were afraid. So a lot of doctors and employees were furloughed. We were forced to take a leave of absence. I was forced to take a leave of absence. We just didn't have work. We literally did not have patients. People stayed home.
Wow. And
we told them to. We told them, if you're not sick, do not come to the ER. And they listened, which put us out of work. So I sat at home. I went on leave in April. And I launched in August. So by May, I decided I cannot just sit here. I need to do something. So that's where the idea came from. I put it together in 2 months. It was really, really, really quick. But I worked day and night. I'm talking, I went into the trenches. And my friends called me crazy. Like, you don't have to do this right away. Take your time. I'm like, no, this has to get done now while I have the time to do it.
Right.
And so a lot of sweat and time and hours and sleepless nights went into building the business. So definitely started from the bottom. I did have a mentor that helped me through. So I do believe success comes from just mimicking other people. So I had a mentor who also started an online business and kind of gave me the blueprint. And I just followed it step by step. And apparently it worked.
That's excellent.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I applaud you. All seriousness, I applaud you. That is excellent. And ingenuity and the stick-to-itiveness, and to see a need that, to see a need and to...
I just knew you were going to say to see a need and fill it.
That's where I was going, but I was trying to be serious for once. Damn it. But seriously, congratulations for that. And I hope this is the beginning of big things for you. Like I said, it tickled me when I saw it. I was like, because and I don't know what happened to. Do you have that video? Do you know what I'm referring to? That's Terry.
I absolutely do. Yeah.
Why did you pull it down? Just out of curiosity. Why did it get pulled down? Out of curiosity, do you know?
From her page?
Yeah.
From Tahiri's page? Oh, you know what? She only leaves it. I do what I call a flash post.
Okay.
Where they'll leave it up for just a couple of hours, and I flash post with a lot of different people.
Ah.
So I flash post with Tahiri every now and then, but I use other influencers as well.
Oh, we must talk, sister. we must talk. We must talk.
Flash post work because it's like it's up and it's like, oh, I gotta get it now, and then I might post with Tahiri one day, and then 3 days later I have her put it back up again, and then people see it again, and it's like that. Oh, I see it again, and I see it again. So by the seventh time they see it, usually it takes people about 7 times to really see something to be like, I want that. So you got people that are like,
somebody's been studying their marketing.
It's marketing.
Yeah.
And then you got
somebody
people
studies their marketing. I like it.
Yeah. Listen.
So that's why I don't leave the post up. The longest I'll leave a post up is usually 24 hours.
Okay. Lastly, and we won't hold you too much longer, but lastly, I researched it and it confused me for a second because you mentioned when we were talking back and forth on Instagram that you were Miss Illinois 2019. And it was like, I told Mike, I was like, Miss Illinois. And I looked it up and it was somebody else that came up. I was like, wait a minute. No, but it's Miss MS Illinois.
It's Miss.
Yeah, Miss Illinois, not Mrs. Tell us how did you get into that? And just tell us about that.
So were you able to find me when you looked it up correctly?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Awesome. Look, I'm walking into. I forgot to grab down my special. I gotta grab it down. So how did I get into that? I modeled when I was very little. Mm-hmm. In high school, really, for several years, and modeling did not take off for me. Really, medical school was my plan B if I couldn't get into the modeling industry.
Okay.
I've always wanted to do pageants, but I was definitely afraid. So last year, within the last 2 years, I went on a journey of just crossing things off the bucket list, starting with the things that I was most afraid to do in life.
Okay.
Right? So I researched how to be in the pageant, and it was more simpler than I thought. And again, just following the steps, following the process. And I won Miss Illinois, the title Miss Illinois. Once I did the Miss Illinois pageant, I came in top 15. So I got to bust my crown out here.
All right. Respect it.
Got to bust my crown out.
Yeah.
And so this was a lifelong dream of mine. And to come in the top 15 for a first pageant was really, really a huge deal. And I would have came in the top 5, but they stumped me on my question. Like, I got stumped on that question.
What was the question?
Do you remember what the question was?
Yeah.
I can't forget it. Okay. So the question was, how did they word it? You know how you get put on the spot, then you got to think about it. Name something name a time in your life. It's going to sound so simple. I got to give a disclaimer. It's going to sound so simple, but when you're on the stage with lights, camera, action, and thousands of people watching, yeah. So it was name a time in your life where you turned a negative into a positive. That was the question. And wow. I kind of bombed it. Because
they threw you a softball and you missed. That was a softball question.
Right.
Softball question. Because it took me for a loop, because my first thought was to say something like, okay, I don't know if this is TMI, but I don't mind talking about my past and my history. Okay. But it was to say something like, I was born a crybaby. And I thought about that. I thought about living in the city in those hard times with 2 parents addicted to drugs. And I was like, no, that's too much. So that went to my head.
Gotcha.
That it was too much. So the answer I wanted to give, I felt like was too much. And then I went for something very trivial. I went for something very surface. Like, I went to med school and I failed out of my first year of school. And because I got pregnant, and then everybody told me to quit and drop out, but I just kept going, and I wound up passing and graduating. But that wasn't deep enough for them, I guess.
Got you. Now was it Caucasian judges?
Was it what? I'm sorry.
Was it white folk?
It was white folk, and it was one black man. And I'm telling you, that black man was rooting for me. He was rooting for me. I can tell. He smiled every time I hit the stage. He was right on. But yeah, it was white folk for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta give them. You gotta give them hard stories. They want that hard. Oh my God, I can't believe this person grew their own legs back. Like, they want something crazy.
Right. I said I should have went with the crack baby story. Like, yeah, right. I was born addicted to drugs and it.
Right. But you really do have an amazing,
a very interesting inner strength, right? Yeah. And I listen to you talk. It's like you don't let anything kind of stand in your way. It's like you see the challenge, you welcome it, and you go headlong into it, where most people run in the opposite direction. Where does that come from?
It comes from exactly what I said, being born into a situation where my mom had 8 kids. There's 8 of us, and we were literally back to back to back. Because when you're just out in the streets, constantly getting pregnant and living off of welfare. And so I was really raised by my older sister. My oldest sister is 10 years older than me. And so all of us, between the 8 of us, we all have this we're very close because we're close in age. So we're close in regards to that. And we're all we got. So we take care of each other and we're all strong. So we're kind of all built like that. And I think that's where it came from. Just, you can become a product of your environment or you can overcome it. I just made a decision that I wasn't going to allow that to stop my dreams or what I wanted to do. A lot of people make a lot of excuses. And I say you can have excuses or you can have results, but you can't have both. So you can't tell me that you can't because somebody in your situation did. So you just have to. Right. And you just make it necessary. You make it not something that you might. It's not a might. It's a must. So get it done. And that's it.
That's what's up.
So is that something you're teaching your son?
To my son?
Yeah, you're teaching your son that same mentality?
So I'm a single mommy of an 11-year-old who has autism.
Okay.
So my son has been a challenge. But again, the community support is amazing. And do I teach him that? Yes. By him having autism, he's brilliant. He really, truly is. So I didn't have to instill much. He stands independently on his own. He's very bold and he says what's on his mind. So I don't worry too much, even though he has autism. It's not necessarily severe. It's a mild case, but he's a little quirky. You can tell he's a little quirky, but it's okay in his own right because to know him is to love him.
Got you. Ms. Morris,
that's
you
amazing.
Are an amazing. Yes. I'm even more impressed now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm even more impressed by you now. Like, I really, really, really applaud you. I wish you the most success. We should stay in contact because I want to see where this goes and what else you come up with. And I can go, yeah, I met that sister on Zoom. I saw it. I saw it coming. My Chi-Town sister, we got another Chi-Town sister, man. Yo, thank you for coming on and hanging with us and bearing the immature jokes from me.
I appreciate you guys for having me. And I'm gonna say this, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I am on schedule to hit $100,000 in 3.5 months today off my business. So I'm excited. I'm watching the numbers like, come on, I need $1,000 more.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
That is great. That is great. That is all from, like, take a moment and really take that in. That's from a moment of saying, I've got to do something while I'm sitting in the house during COVID. And in 2 months, building a business that's about to hit $100,000. That is
man.
amazing.
Absolutely. Tell everybody your website and how to find you.
My website is www.thevdoctor.com. And I am on Instagram as _V_doctor. You can find me also, you can email me at thevdoctor1@gmail.com.
There it is.
So
my sister.
there you have it.
My sister Latanya, thank you very much for coming on. Congratulations. And we're looking forward to see more come from you.
I appreciate you. Absolutely. We must keep in touch. And anyone who wants to start an online business, I am game for telling you all my secrets.
Okay.
So just hit me up.
We're going to talk.
Hit me up.
Tell Uncle Kenny I said thank you for shutting the fuck up.
Yes, Uncle Kenny, be quiet. All right, guys. I appreciate you.
Thank you now.
Have a good day.
Peace.
Absolutely. Bye.
I feel good. That's absolutely. I love to see us winning. That's really dope. I was cracking jokes about it the whole time, but that's amazing. She has an amazing story and amazing accomplishments in a little bit of time, a short time.
And she is goddamn beautiful.
Oh yeah, that too. That doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt.
I thought to mention it, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to mention it because especially as she started talking more about her process and her business and everything. It was like, that kind of minimizes her intelligence and her success to bring up her beauty. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to.
We're talking about it behind her back. Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Damn, I can say it now.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. So, ladies, if you're in need of some sort of, rejuvenation and all that type of stuff, do your due diligence, but hit her up and check out her products and let us know how that works out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
TheVDoctor.com.
Yeah, man. Moving on.
Hold on, I gotta finish the story.
Yeah, we gotta get back to, that's what I'm saying, getting back to what we were talking about before the sister jumped on.
Oh, okay. So when last we left our hero, he was at the bar.
Right.
So yeah, two cats talking, couple brothers. One guy's 48, the other guy's 31. And they're talking and building. I don't remember how I got pulled into the conversation. And now it's three positive black men having a great conversation at the bar about a little bit of everything: women, God, success, the things that we know now in our late 40s that we didn't know in our 30s, and just kind of helping the young brother. And then it comes out that the young guy is a songwriter. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I used to do production, write songs or whatever years ago. I ran an independent label and did that whole thing. And then the other cat, 48-year-old cat sitting next to me, he goes, yeah, I've done some production and done some things. So we're talking, and I was like, hey, man, I don't think we've properly introduced. I'm Mike. And he says, I'm Dave West.
Dave West.
And then the wheel started turning. And I'm like, Dave West, the producer. You did stuff with De La. I know you. I know who you are. And he goes, yeah, I produced for De La, Tribe, everybody. So Dave West, if you guys don't know who he is, he's Grammy nominated. He produced on De La Soul's most recent works, the AOI, Mosaic Thump, Grind Date. And he arranged and organized the Anonymous Nobody, which is their most recent album, which was created it was over 2 years of live jam sessions that they used and compiled that album. And the most unique thing about that album is it was completely crowdsourced. They didn't take any label money or any of that to do that album. And it's probably, in my opinion, it's the best work that they've ever done. So this guy, Dave West, was over that project and he produced for him. He produce for a little bit of everybody. So now I'm in the bar trying my best not to become straight fanboy, right? Because it's not a good look to just be on another grown ass man's nuts. You know what I mean? So, but no, we had a great conversation, man. And I talked to him and asked him if he would come on the show and just chop it up with us, man, about hip hop and, you know, music and his process. Cause you know, that's my thing. I like to hear about people's process and how they started in a place and got to another place. But yeah, we talked about how, you know, he's been all hip hop has taken him all over the world, man. So it was wild just who you can run into at the bar.
Right. That's pretty dope. Okay. Salute to Dave West. That's amazing. That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, man.
That's really cool. Okay.
He lives in the neighborhood, so he's not far.
Okay.
Small world and the such.
Well, there's a story that I saw. Well, actually, it was an audio clip I saw posted up on Instagram. You remember Jamel Hill?
Yes.
For those who may not know the name, she's a journalist. She was a sports journalist, I believe. I can't remember which channel she was on. Was it ESPN?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Let's look.
Yeah, just I want to make sure I got this correct. But she has her own podcast now. And she put this clip up. She had gotten some hate mail, and she was talking about the assertion that now, you know, people that didn't support 45 and people with common sense should now turn the other cheek and forgive the other side and let's have a kumbaya moment. And she.
ESPN.
She was where? Okay.
ESPN.
Right. Okay. So, because she got let go for calling out the president. Ultimately, she had gotten some flack for that, and ultimately they let her go. In any case, so she has her own thing now, and so here's what she had to say about some fan mail that she got and how she feels about it.
A lot of us have been terrorized. We've been on the receiving end of a lot of hatred, a lot of vitriol. I've been a professional journalist since 1997. I've been getting hate mail since I was in college. Nothing has been like what it's been like the last 4 years, particularly after I called out the president. This is what came into my Instagram DMs just this morning. Hey, you fucking racist nigger bitch. You got a problem with white folks, then run your fucked up bitch ass mouth to one of us, and I don't mean a little kid or an old man, and see if they don't slap the black off your sorry ass. Fuck you, Trump will still win. Get the fuck over it or fucking leave. Now, I realize that does not necessarily mean all Trump supporters are that hateful or that vitriolic, but this idea that we need to turn the other cheek, hell no. So I say this with all the disrespect. Fuck y'all. I'm not turning the other cheek. I'm not forgiving you because you've terrorized my life. You've threatened it. You've come after my friends and my family. So fuck you. Straight up, no chaser.
For the ancestors too, y'all.
God
exactly.
damn.
Harriet would have wanted me to do that. Harriet, Sojourner, Shirley, all them. That's for all y'all.
Yeah, man. That's just the...
All right then, lady.
Yeah, I'm with you. Both fingers. All day, twice on Sunday. These folks are crazy. As we're recording this today, they're doing a million MAGA march in D.C. I mean, as if appropriating our culture isn't at the most disrespectful level. The million MAGA march, really? Okay. And why though? In any case, I don't even want to go down that. I don't want to stay on it long. They crazy. And I say that to say Biden has won. 45 still hasn't really acknowledged it. I mean, he kind of did, kind of sort of back way, but he feel like it hurts his heart too much to say congratulations. But these folks, they still exist. Even with the new administration going in, these folks are still, they're still around, and we know what they feel. We see what they really feel, what they really think. I just,
on November 3rd, I made the statement because somebody said to me, they said, we'll be drinking it. Either we'll be toasting happiness or we'll be drinking away sadness or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I said, everybody is going to be doing that. Right? No matter who wins, there's going to be a group of motherfuckers who's mad and drinking and saying this is not fair and yada, yada, yada. And there's going to be a group of people who's drinking and super damn happy. So that's kind of where we are, right? And with love him or hate him, however you feel about Trump, what Trump did to or for this country, depending on how you look at it, he allowed people to be very who the hell they are and vocal. You cannot put that genie back in the bottle. No. So, and I hope people don't think that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to come in and now it's going to be a big kumbaya moment, like she said, and we're all going to hold hands and it's going to be wonderful. It's not. No. It's not going to be that. It's going to be worse than what it was before, because a lot of people will, whether it's warranted or not, will feel like he was cheated and, you had it out for him for day one, and they're going to live in that for a while.
Yeah.
Did you see Dave Chappelle
on SNL last week? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That shit was amazing. It was funny as hell and it was amazing.
I think Chappelle has a gift for taking the most serious, making a point, making it ridiculous, but making a point with it, like this really intelligent humor. And some of it was so serious, it felt like the audience didn't know if they should laugh or not. Like, it was funny, but can we laugh at that? You know what I mean? Like, it was
He took you through the highs and the lows in that it was 16 minutes, 15 minutes. He would make you laugh, and then he would hit you with some real heavy seriousness. And you're right. You were like, is that a joke or is he being serious now? But you felt the seriousness of it. But the reason I bring it up is he at the end of it, he said, I think something is very poignant. Be humble winners. And then he said, do you remember when I was on here back in 2016, how it felt when we lost? It's a lot of people feeling that right now.
Exactly. Right.
So it's a whole bunch of delusional people out there who really think that marching and recounting and doing all of this is going to change the outcome, right? It's not. So let's not exasperate the issue by doing the aha moment.
Right.
Now, I say that, and then I posted some shit yesterday.
Listen.
That is the antithesis of everything I just said, but it was a great goddamn joke, so I had to go for it.
Listen, all the marching and crying and protesting and all that, accusing of voter fraud, which there's no evidence of.
No evidence.
Right. And each judge has been like,
zero evidence of voter fraud.
They've been chopping down at that point. Each lawyer goes, well, no, we have No, because they'll ask point blank, well, do you have evidence of fraud? Are you asserting that there was fraud? Well, no, not really, not to my knowledge. Then what are we here for? Okay, and they dismiss the cases. What really boils down to the point, I think Ari Melber from MSNBC spoke to this point a while ago. And even years before that, it was eloquently put by one Sean Carter.
Well, we don't believe you. You need more people.
The numbers won't add up, no matter what you do. He, to his credit, I responded. Trump said, he got 70 million or whatever votes, the most in history for a sitting president. Okay, that makes you the biggest loser in history as well. Because with all that, you still lost.
Well, we don't believe you. You need more people.
And we'll just leave it there.
I don't know why I find that little soundbite so funny. It tickles the shit out of me every time I hear it.
Yeah, man, it's a fact. It just is what it is, I think I'll say this, and we won't harp on this, but so longer. What we will need to watch out for is this blatant coup that he's seemingly trying to do in plain sight, where there's people from the Pentagon or whatever that he's fired and replaced and put in like Trump loyalists and all that type of stuff. I mean, why would somebody take a job with only 3 months left? You know what I'm saying? Like 2-3 months left on the job. What's the point of that? I think there's something more sinister that he's trying to make happen. So it's not going to end well if he actually goes through with what he's trying to do. But it'll be the first time in history that the Secret Service is going to have to go in there and actually evict a sitting, the ex-president. And when they do evict them, they need to fumigate the White House with fire. 130 Secret Servicemen have been exposed or came down with COVID, have to be quarantined. 130 Secret Service officers. Let's think about that number for a second. 130 Secret Service officers that had worked around Trump and been around with him on this campaign, more recently, are now quarantined. And it's ridiculous.
You want to know what was the most shocking about, like, when he got COVID-19 and it was like this person was infected and that person was infected? It was most shocking to me that his wife got it, because she never looks like she lets him touch her. Right? Like, and I'm not trying to be funny. That's really not a joke. I was like, I heard he had it and I was like, and then they said she had it and I was like, for real? She actually lets him touch her? Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe she gave it to him trying to kill his ass. So.
She was running around licking doorknobs trying to catch COVID-19.
Like, I know how to get rid of it. I know it's easier than divorce. The
president was shocked when his wife wanted to have sex. He knew that something was going on.
Not even sex.
But he didn't question it.
Not even sex, just holding hands. That's a good time for him. Like, you want to hold my hand? You've seen numerous posts of her slapping his hand away when she tried to grab him, like, get off me. Get off me. But in any case, there it is in the play. And Barack Obama has been in the news, saying like, "Yo, this is shameful. This is dangerous." Trying to not just having problems saying the words, delegitimize not just the incoming administration, but democracy in itself. So it's just something to look out for.
That free and unencumbered transfer of power is very crucial to the stability of our process. So I'm not at all happy about what he's doing. But Barack is in the news. He was also in the news saying how hard being the president was on his marriage to Michelle.
Yeah, I saw that story.
Former president opens up about his 8 years in the office in an upcoming memoir called A Promised Land. Here was his quote. He says he could sense an, quote, undercurrent of tension in her, subtle but constant. Despite her own achievements and growing popularity and their roles in America's first family amplify all of the stress involved. Barack says it was as if confined as we were within the walls of the White House. All her previous sources of frustration became more concentrated, more vivid, whether it was my round the clock absorption with work, or the way politics exposed our family to scrutiny and attacks, or the tendency of even friends and family members to treat her role as secondary in importance.
Yeah.
Okay, let's deal with that. I get it. However, your role is secondary.
Listen,
He is the single most powerful and important person in the world.
And that is
And you're upset that you're treated as secondary?
Listen, I'm not surprised. Not to say all women, all women of color this way, but that is a black woman. That sounds very black womanish. Like, you know what I mean? But I mean, everybody got marriages work. Now imagine being married in the White House. You get what I'm saying? I'm sure the normal pressures of life itself would be one thing to deal with. Now dealing with the most important job in the world and being, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised.
But don't the benefits outweigh all of the negative to be the wife of the single most powerful person in the world, right? Like, you think about it. You think about being the best of whatever, right? That is the best of everything.
Right.
There is no higher place than that. That's it.
I would say, yes, I agree.
Oh, hold on. This is my mother, T. Hang on one second. Hi, Mom.
Hey, Sean.
Oh, this is Dad.
Oh.
Dad, you are on the show right now. We're in the middle of recording.
Hello, Mr. Smith.
Oh, you don't have to hang up. Oh, he hung up.
Oh.
I guess he didn't want to be on. I'll call him back. I'll call him back.
What I was going to say was, yes, I agree with you, but also they're the first black family. So that's more pressure on top of that, more scrutiny on top of that. Like I said, all of that, it's the
fair enough.
You know, previous first families got to do all of that while being white. This is the first black family. You know what I mean? And all the racism that exists in this country focused on them.
But if ever there's a position that you can get to in life where you can just grab your balls and look at people and go, what you gonna do? That's it. Right? He's like, what? Oh, you don't like niggas? What you gonna do? I'm the president. What you gonna do?
And to speak to his character, Barack never did that, at least not publicly. He did keep his composure. We did see him loosen up later on, especially towards the end his last term when he was giving the State of the Union, and he goes, "This is my last term as president," and the Republicans started applauding, and he snapped back and go, "That's because I won all my elections." Like, you ain't fired me. I get to walk out here on my own. You know what I mean? So, in any case, we'll talk more. Yeah. We'll talk more about.
I get it.
I was gonna say we can talk more about this. I don't want to drone on more about politics at this point, but I do kind of want to wrap it up and give people the opportunity to hear the rest of this content on the after show. Again, we want to thank Latanya Morris for coming on from thedoctor.com. And yeah, we'll talk a little more on the after show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're listening for the first time, make sure you subscribe on YouTube and or Apple Podcast or Google Podcast, wherever you get podcasts. Or you can just go to our website, unpopinshow.com, and you get all of what we're doing here. Also, if you do subscribe, we have a little contest going on.
Over on Alexa.
Yes.
We're over on Alexa. I tried it. I couldn't get it at first. I forgot she was listening.
Yeah, I tried not to say her name.
Thank you, honey. I tried it at first and couldn't get it, but I added podcast to the end and it comes up easily. So if you say play the Unpopular Opinion Show podcast, it'll come right up, and I think it plays the most recent episode.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Our website is unpopinshow.com. All of our socials is at Unpopin Show. That's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, the book. And at some point, I don't know if I want to do the what's the not Snapchat. What's the dance one? TikTok. Yeah. We have one. Ain't nothing up there. Let the whippersnappers do that. Again, thank you for listening. We'll talk to you on the after show, or we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for listening. Peace.
Thanks for checking out the Unpopular Opinion Show. If you like this content, make sure you like, subscribe, and smash the notification button down below so you can keep getting more from T-Storm and myself.
Yeah. More jokes coming on. No, they beep. Damn it. Okay, fine.